Hi everyone. Today we are going to solve the issue number of islands. This is very famous issue, so popular issue in LeetCode. So when coming to the issue here, we have provided one grid with ones and zeros. One is considered as land and zeros are considered as water. We need to find the connected land islands here. So let's say here this particular four and this two and this particular one and this particular two. These are connected. We can see they are connected with the lands and they are surrounded by water. So we can consider from this grid we are having one island. When coming to this particular grid, we are having three islands. So these two are connected with each other, but not connected in uh, with any other lands. We can say this is connected, but it is not considering adjacency. Only we are considering left, right, top, bottom. So that is our condition here. So we need to find how many islands in the given grid. That is our motto. So let's start with the solution directly. It will while solving the issue, we will get to know more about the issue. Yes. Uh, First of all, I will just go through the whole grid. I will start with one land point and I will check all the neighbors and their neighbors and I will mark them as a visitors. So how can I mark them as visitors? I will just take a one one empty array which is consisting of all zeros and I will turn them into one once I visited any particular land so that I don't need to visit them again. I will not visit them again. So that is my main logic behind it. So let's directly jump into the coding part. So I'm going to take, so as I have mentioned, I will go through the grid. So I need to find the rows and columns. So m equals to grid dot length. It is rows and columns is nothing but grid of 0 dot length. Okay, we find the rows and columns and what we need to have is we need to have one visitors array which is consisting of m comma n. So how I'm going to use it, as I have mentioned, I'm going to use this when I'm visiting one particular land. I will just mark that particular respective place as one, and the remaining part of the array will be zero. So let's look through the array. Yes, the same for columns. 0 j is less than n and j less less. Yes. So what is the condition? First thing is the particular position should not be visited previously, and one more thing is grid of that position should be 1. Then we will consider our islands, number of islands. We'll just increase the number of islands. So let's take that particular part as well. Yes. So it is not n. We need to find out all the neighbors. Check all check all neighbors by sending visitors and the row and column and as well as grid as well. Yes, return number of islands at the end. Our main logic behind in this check number of check all neighbors only. So let's try to write this in a quick way. So what we are going to have is we are going to have one visitors array and row and column, and obviously the given grid. Okay, so then we need to have one pair. Okay, I'm just creating one custom class. So custom data item, let us, we can say, we are just creating a custom, no, we are just creating a class, and I'm going to have two properties. One is row and another one is column. So in addition to it, I want to have a row. Sorry, I want to have a constructor as well. Yes. So why I'm having this pair? So I want to check all the neighbors. So let's say this is a start point. What is the neighbor? So we need to add one thing to column and we need to subtract one thing to column. And the same thing with the row. We need to subtract one thing to the row and we need to add one thing to the row. So what I'm going to do is I'm just creating a list of pairs, okay, that are considered as neighbors. Yes. And I'm going to add all the pairs here. So add new pair of row comma column minus one and column plus one. Same thing as row minus one and row plus one. So I just find, like, let's say this is the start point. I just find all the neighbors. This one, this one, this one, this one. So after finding the neighbors, I will just check if that particular one is land. If that particular one is land, then only I will move. Then I will check their neighbors. So uh, let's run that code. Let's try to write that code. So what I'm going to do is I just check all the pairs same neighbors. Okay, if, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the row of this pair, the column. If n row is, sorry, what we are going to do is it should not be visited. First thing is it should not be visited. We are not going to be in a loop, so that's why it should not be visited. That means n row comma n column is equals to 0, and grid of n row and n column should be 1. In that condition, we will go and check their neighbors. It's the same thing. We just need to run this particular on this particular one, but instead of I, we need to pass n row, and instead of this one, we need to pass n column, and the many things are same. One more thing we need to be very careful. Like here, I just give the example as the start point of this one. Let's, what if the start point is this one? We are going to have some invalid points. So to remove those uh, invalid pairs, what we need to do is I will just check the, if it is less than or equals to, if it is greater than or equals to 0, I'm just checking if n row is greater than or equals to 0 and n column is greater than or equals to 0, and n row should be less than number of rows. So how we find the rows is I'm just going to get them from here. Yes, from the grid itself, columns, and what I'm going to do is if it is less than rows and n column is less than columns. In addition to that, if it is passing these visitors and grid conditions, then we are going to check the remaining things. And one more thing we need to notice is we need to mark each land as visited. Okay, and what can we do is we can do row column is equals to 1. This is how we will mark it as visited. After doing all these things, if we run it, yes, it is working. Let's try to submit it. Yes, it's working fine. You can see it is not very efficient solution, but anyway, it's one of the way we can solve this issue. It is a lengthy one. I will provide this code in the description, and that's it. Thanks everyone.